Brad Baker. So, a lot of people wondering what's going on with her, why she's been absent. Well, Tony Khan did an interview with PW Unlimited, and I watched it yesterday. Well, listened to it yesterday, and it was pretty good. And I'm going to continue to listen to it one more time just to repeat. But however, article just came out at Tony Khan explaining why, Brad Baker's been absent from TV. And this is how he explained it. And I can't read all of it because of the limited time, but I could read some of it. So let's discuss. Now, he stated that he had never had a conversation about Brad Baker departing AEW. He claiming he liked her a lot. But then he also explained, why she hasn't been on TV as much. And this is how he explains it. He pretty much used a sports team in an analogy to explain why certain talent wrestlers like Baker may not be featured on TV at all times. So this is how he explained it. It's very long, but let me just try to see if I can speed it up. Let me try. So he said on a baseball team, you have 9 players at a time. In the NFL, you can put 11 in at a time. Pro wrestling is unique because you can use a different numbers of people, but there is still only so many slots to fit into a show. And then he explains, we haven't used everybody. And there are some really talented people on our bench that we can call in that would be great part of the show. I absolutely think that applies to the number of women and men that are not necessarily being featured right now. And Tony stated that his focus in 2025 has been on a tight, forced show and not trying to force everyone on every week. Yeah, well, that sounds like WWE right there, but just that last part where it says not trying to force everyone on every week. But, again, it just reminds me of that just a little bit. But, he's saying not trying to force everyone on every week, and he left an open door for Baker's return when the time is right. Now, he also stated that Britt is a great example of somebody that is very talented and we could utilize in AEW with the right situation and at the time. Just like in pro sports, when you have some really talented people that aren't necessarily starting every game at that point, doesn't mean they won't be starting in the future. It makes sense for me to look at AEW roster like a sports team and trying to manage the minutes and rotation. All right, let me just say this, right? Listen, shout out to Brad Baker and shout out to Tony Khan. I really like that interview with him. But however, I understand what Tony is saying, all right? I rock with Tony. But however, it's hard for us to believe that when there has been moments where you could have used her for some type of storyline. Like I was thinking maybe you could have had her, I have plans for Maya May, but I don't have plans for Brad Baker like that. But because Mercedes is the one winning the gold, it's kind of hard for us to actually plan a story for Brad Baker. But however, it wouldn't be that hard if Jimmy Hayter wasn't injured, because I would have liked for those two to team up. You know what I'm saying? One more time, because I did like them as a team. Maybe they could have been a tag team, and then we would have had some tag team titles on the line. If they would have brung them. They still making them. I don't know if they are or not, but I know that it's an interest of it. And then we would have had Tony and Mina team up, and that would have been some competition right there. But then Jamie Hayter would have to, change her look. That I don't know if that would be the possibility, but it would be possible. You know what I'm saying? But that would have been something new. You know what I mean? And then that way, Jamie Hayter wouldn't be feeling so alone, you know what I mean? We would have had someone team up with her, you feel me? But the problem is, we just haven't had any updates of what they could do with her. You know what I mean? We had an update with Tay because finally she, her pregnancy is over with and she came back to help Anna, so that's good. But what are we going to do with Baker? You know what I'm saying? Now, I like I said, I don't have many ideas for her, but y'all can comment down below and give me some because I don't have no ideas. You know what I mean? Like I only have one, and that's the team up with Jimmy Hayter when she comes back. And then, but because she's hurt, I don't know how long she's going to be gone. But so maybe that might not be a good idea. But maybe so that's why I just feel like maybe she should come to WWE, just go to NXT and, maybe show some people that she is talented, that she is over. And then, because last time she was in WWE, she got beat up by Nia Jax. They were treating her like a jobber at that time. She was a beginner and stage of whatnot. So, but now that she's over, maybe, this could lead her to where she could start a rivalry with Nia Jax if she do some time in NXT and then come to the main roster and face her. You know what I mean? Go after some mid-card titles. But we would have to, wait on that because, again, we don't know. But it's a possibility. But y'all can comment down below and let me know what do you guys think what Tony say about, Brad Breaker's absence. Do you think it's true? Do you think it's not true? Do you believe it? Do you not believe it? Everything I just read with what he just said, do you believe or do you not believe? You know what I mean? Like, do you think it's true or do you think it's false? Either way, I do think that Brad Breaker is going to come to WWE just like Maya May. And we just have to wait until, we just have to wait and see how things go. Because right now, the main roster is looking like trash. But I just hope that Maya May will see why we don't want her to leave AEW and we want her to stay. But as for Brad Breaker goes, I kind of want her to come to WWE just because it's NXT. But if she come in the main roster, I don't know what they're going to do with her. I just hope to God that she gets an opportunity for an IC belt or a United States title, So, and hopefully face Nia Jax one more time so that way she can show her that she's not the same girl that she beat up last time, that she's, that she's different now. She's a star now, Well, even though that AEW's been kind of sweeping her under the rug, she is over with the crowd. We just gotta get her back out there. So we'll see what happens. But y'all comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, share if you're new. And I'll catch y'all in the next video. All right? I'm out.